The man just woke up and immediately noticed something was wrong. Not only had the ceiling of his rental apartment gotten lower, the sink had also dropped considerably in height. It wasn't until he looked in the mirror that the protagonist understood the reason for everything. He had actually transformed into a handsome guy with 8-pack abs. What was even more bizarre, the protagonist turned around and discovered his original body lying on the ground. So he went over and tentatively patted it. Unexpectedly, the next second his consciousness returned to his original body. Just as the protagonist was marveling at what a nice dream this had been, with one turn of his head, he saw the muscular body fallen into deep sleep. Though startled at first, after some experimentation, the protagonist discovered something incredible. His consciousness could actually switch freely between the two bodies. Thinking back to his childhood, all those days of being bullied because of his appearance, the protagonist couldn't help but develop a bold idea. Having finally gotten this heaven-defying chance to change his fate, how could he just give it up like this? So the next day at a certain school, a devastatingly handsome guy who walked with natural swagger appeared. The moment he stepped onto campus, he attracted countless girls' gazes. Walking into the classroom completely dropped his classmates' jaws. Thus the protagonist's dream life officially began. Though the protagonist had an empty handsome shell, his heart was still as insecure as before. But in the female student's eyes, he was completely the standard aloof male god. But having never had a girlfriend, the protagonist was destined not to understand these gazes. However, the protagonist was dumbfounded the moment he sat down, because the student sitting next to him was the very person who had beaten his original body to a pulp yesterday. Just as the protagonist was troubled by this, fortunately the other party didn't recognize him, and even initiated a friendly greeting. Also possessing keen observation skills was the delinquent girl. In order to become the first girl in class to know the protagonist, she quickly finished her makeup during class, then came over to the protagonist. This immediately drew dissatisfaction from the other girls. Mike was about to casually make a sarcastic comment, when he suddenly noticed that even his girlfriend couldn't help but steal a glance at the protagonist, instantly feeling threatened. He also regarded the protagonist as an enemy, because of his extremely handsome appearance. Even when the protagonist was eating, he became the focus of many girls' attention. To quickly get familiar with this body, the protagonist went to the park during lunch break, deciding to practice walking properly.